Are you ready to uncover the shocking truth behind the biggest monetary scam? We reveal the sinister tactics that credit card companies use to trap you in a cycle of debt. Discover how their hidden fees, skyrocketing interest rates, and deceptive promises of free money are designed to keep you financially enslaved. It's time to break free and reign control of your finances. Don't miss this eye-opening expose that could change your financial future forever. Picture yourself at the end of the month, standing in front of a daunting pile of bills, eagerly waiting to be opened. As you anxiously scan through the amounts you owe, the reality sinks in. $700 for your car payment, $400 for your student loan, and $100 for your credit card balance. The mounting stress begins to take hold, and you can almost feel your fight-or-flight instincts kicking in. Just 3 payments alone add up to staggering $1,200, which doesn't even consider your rent, groceries, utilities, insurance, or fuel for your car. Gradually, the stress transforms into fear, and a nagging question arises within you. How on earth am I going to afford all this? Maybe you can cover these expenses, but it would leave you with no funds for emergencies, no savings for retirement, and certainly no chance of that eagerly anticipated beach vacation next summer. It's a catch-22 situation, and the looming possibility of charging those vacation expenses to your credit card only deepens the hole of debt you find yourself in. In today's world, debt has become integral to our lives. Loans are readily available for most anything you desire, and even if you don't engage in formal borrowing, credit cards can easily trap you in their web of debt. However, acquiring a loan means purchasing things beyond your current means and sacrificing your future income for immediate desires. The major setback with loans and credit cards lies in their daily costs. They force you to continuously work to repay what you owe, ultimately limiting your choice and curtailing your freedom. It's a vicious loop that can keep you enslaved to debt indefinitely. Now let's take a closer look at the history and structure of the credit card industry. In the early 20th century, charge cards emerged as the first plastic cards that allowed consumers to buy now and pay later. It was a seemingly convenient concept, promising immediate gratification without the hassle of carrying cash. However, as time passed, the credit card industry evolved into a profit-driven behemoth, often preying on unsuspecting consumers. The allure of credit cards lies in their ability to provide a false sense of financial security. They tempt you with attractive rewards, cashback offers, and enticing introductory rates. But behind these seemingly beneficial perks, a web of fees, interest rates, and hidden charges is waiting to trap you. Credit card companies know that many consumers will fall into the trap of minimum payments, occurring exorbitant interest over time. It's a carefully designed system that thrives on the hopes and dreams of individuals, luring them into a never-ending cycle of debt. Moreover, the credit card industry thrives on the fact that humans are emotional beings. They understand that we often make impulsive buying decisions driven by our desire and the need for instant gratification. By exploiting this vulnerability, credit card companies can convince us to spend beyond our means, leaving us to face the consequences later. The structure of credit card payments is particularly insidious. The minimum payment requirement may seem manageable initially, but it is intentionally set low to trap you in debt. By making only the minimum payments, you essentially prolong the repayment period and subject yourself to a compounding interest. It becomes a perpetual cycle where you constantly are making payments, yet the balance never seems to decrease significantly. As time passes, the debt burden grows and the freedom to choose diminishes. You find yourself caught in a web of financial obligations, constantly struggling to keep up with the demands of credit card companies. Your hard-earned income is funneled into paying off debts, leaving little room for savings, investments, or pursuing your dreams. Breaking free of this cycle requires a conscious effort to regain control of your finances. It starts with understanding the true cost of credit card and making informed decisions about your spending. It means resisting the lure of immediate gratification and instead prioritizing long-term financial stability. By living within your means, saving for emergencies, and avoiding unnecessary debt, you can reclaim your financial freedom and avoid being trapped by the scam that the credit card industry can become. The introduction of the first universal credit card by Diners Club in 1949 brought about various perks for traveling business people. One notable perk was the ability to charge meals at different restaurants and make the full payment each month. At that time, there were doubts about the profitability of the credit card system. However, other cards quickly entered the market from the 1960s to the 1980s. Fueled by support from Congress and the judiciary through deregulation, Bank of America and its rival, Network, emerged as a major player in the credit card industry during this period. They eventually branded their cards as Visa and Mastercard, respectively. The credit card landscape changed significantly in 1978, with the Supreme Court ruling in Marquette National Bank of Minneapolis versus First Omaha Service Corporation. This ruling granted national banks the authority to apply interest based on the usury ceilings of the state where their headquarters were located rather than the customer's home state. This decision prompted national banks to relocate to states with more lenient usury laws. and it led other states to repeal restrictive regulations to retain major financial institutions. However, during the late 19th and early 20th century, credit cards were widely viewed as an economic sin that inevitably led individuals into enslavement. They faced criticism for creating deceptive living standards. As industrialization progressed and urbanization increased incomes and the availability of a wide range of new goods, the focus shifted from production to consumption. In the early days, credit cards appealed to many individuals who used them for lifestyle purposes, with the majority promptly paying off their balances. However, this eventually led to the introduction of annual fees on cards in the 1970s. Over the following decades, technological advancements reshaped social interactions and gave rise to a new type of credit card users. As described by Juliet Shore in her book, The Overspent American, the primary aspiration for most modern Americans shifted from imitating one's neighbor to achieving a quality of life characterized by materialistic acquisitions and conspicuous consumption. Their desire to mirror the lavish lifestyle portrayed by celebrities, television and film characters, and colleagues became a driving force. It's important to note that while providing the convenience and opportunities for consumption, the credit card industry can also be associated with potential scam and pitfalls. Consumers must be cautious and informed to avoid falling victim to deceptive practices, hidden fees, and the burden of excessive debt. Understanding the history and structure of credit cards can help individuals make responsible financial choices and protect themselves from the potential traps that may arise. Business of enslaving poor people. Credit cards have become modern-day loan sharks, with the average American adult holding 3 credit cards and an average balance of over $5,500. In 2020 alone, credit card companies raked over $176 billion in income. The world's first general-purpose credit card, the Bank of America card, was released in 1958 by Bank of America. However, without magnetic strips, tracking purchases was difficult, and credit card fraud was rampant. Despite initial losses, Bank of America licensed the card to other banks, creating Visa through a merger in the 1970s. By the 1980s, competition among credit card companies intensified. Most credit cards began featuring magnetic strips, which expanded the opportunities for more banks to offer credit cards to their customers. People were enticed by the idea of free money and spent sprees accumulating debt. Household debt in the United States skyrocketed, and credit card companies found a profitable business model. Initially, these credit cards charged were around 4 to 5% interest, significantly lower than today's average of over 16%. Banks made modest profits from interest charges but desired a way to increase their earnings. To turn credit cards into loan shark tools, banks deceived people into believing they bought things for free. Many states had regulations preventing credit card companies from raising interest rates. However, when South Dakota eliminated its cap on credit interest, the U.S. Supreme Court's Marquette decision allowed banks to export their interest rates to other states. This meant that a bank based in South Dakota could charge the same high interest rate nationwide, effectively rendering interest rate caps in other states meaningless. In conclusion, credit cards have evolved into one of the biggest monetary scams, keeping countless individuals trapped in a cycle of debt and preventing them from achieving financial freedom. The promise of convenience and rewards mask the high interest rates, hidden fees, and predatory practices employed by credit card companies. It's time to break free from the vicious cycle and take control of our financial well-being. Discover the truth behind credit cards and how they can keep you poor. Like, share, and subscribe to uncover more insights and strategies for financial empowerment. Your journey to financial freedom starts now.